Anita Roddick, a former British businesswoman and a human activist, once said, "Whatever you do, be different." That was the advice my mother gave me, and I can't think of a better advice for an entrepreneur. If you're different, you will stand out. With those words, I welcome you to today's edition of the program Leading Women. My name is Toyin Adepoju. My guest on Leading Women today is the first female photographer to serve a governor in Oyo State. She is a young, hardworking, consistent documentary photographer. And presently, she is the official photographer to the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. It's my pleasure to bring to you my interview with Tolani Alli. Enjoy. You're welcome to Leading Women, Tolani Alli.
Thank you for having me.
You were born in Nigeria and you grew up in North America. What was childhood like for you? Would you say you had it all?
I would say I had what I needed. My parents were very and are still very hardworking people, and education was the foremost because my dad was a teacher. He used to be a teacher in his early days. So he groomed us properly well, especially education. It was something my dad didn't play with, and it's something that my dad and mom strongly believed in. Majority of our day was always filled with lessons and going for coaching, and my dad just always wanted us to be the best. My brothers used to get in trouble for playing too much soccer. But childhood was... it was beautiful. In the States, I loved basketball, so I used to be in basketball camps. But aside from that, I always also used to go for summer school. And for us in our family, summer school was not if you did well or you didn't do well. It was just a requirement. It wasn't like holidays. Even if we were traveling, or you're going to America or whatever, you weren't going to America to have vacation like everybody else. You were going to America to go to summer school and be in summer camp, and then you go for basketball training and things like that. So that was always, but everything I always wanted, it wasn't luxurious or anything, or I did chores, I worked hard like everybody else. Even if we had a maid or we didn't have a maid or we had somebody that would cook for, we still had to do things. We had to sweep. We had a schedule for sweeping. We had a schedule for who would wash the plates. And then I was the youngest girl at the time, so we're two girls. But at the time I was the only girl, so I had to do the only girl things. Like my brothers would eat, I'll be the one to wash the plates. They would call me Tolani boil rice, especially my brothers in uni then. So they would call me. They say they are coming home, that I should boil rice and cook stew, and I'll have aunties over. I'll have to lay their bed, make sure they are okay. And one of the things we always used to do, when people come and visit us, is give them hotel service, because I just have a thing for hotels. So make sure their towels are folded, they have bath soap, they have, so we would package everything and give them. So
and it was your responsibility to do that. It was
my responsibility to do that, and growing up was fascinating, and we always had family around us. A lot of uncles and aunties, my parents raised them, so they were also in the house. They were the ones that took care of us. They were the ones that also raised us. I had one auntie, may her soul rest in peace, Auntie Rana. She was just amazing. Wow. She was the best cook ever, and she was she can wake up at 4 a.m. and make Milo for you.
Wow.
But she also taught us a lot, because I always had an affinity for cooking, and so she taught me what she could teach me at the time. And I had another auntie Oju too. She was the one that was always hard on us. So it was good cop, bad cop. Auntie Oju was the bad cop. Auntie Rano was the good cop. And Auntie Oju was the one that used to force, learn. She taught me how to wash my clothes, touch, there was always washing machine, but my parents believed in the old way, the traditional way. So even in America,
washing with your two hands.
You wash with your two hands. And even if the washing machine if the washing machine washes for you and the dryer dries for you, you still had to wash and iron, hard press. My dad believed in starch.
Okay.
Like, you know, you starch, you mix, you boil water and mix starch and starch your clothes. And so, and they really taught us how to be prim and proper, how to dress well, how to look good. Like, you can't leave the house without putting white powder on. Like, my dad, like, you had to make sure your body was well lotioned. I mean, just childhood was, I think, like, childhood prepares you for a lot of things in life. And I think that was where I learned. It wasn't rosy, it wasn't luxurious, but I would always say that I had everything I needed.
Would you say you were actually born with a silver spoon?
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely. In the sense that, did I get everything I want? No. But did I have everything that I needed? Yes. So depending on how you ask that question, for silver spoon of what I needed, definitely. Silver spoon of what I want, probably not. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes, you come across to so many as a tomboy. Do you think that description fits you?
I think I'm me. I think people try to always put you in a box in life just to kind of get kind of what you are. But I grew up in an all-boys house. So, I've always liked sports. I've always liked things that women are not really meant to like. But I feel like with the way the world is going now, there's nothing. Even my job right currently, or as a photographer, is known for, it's a male-dominated career. I don't think there's a particular way of saying or categorizing someone, right? Can I wear a gown when I need to? Yeah. Can I wear heels? Do I have heels? Yeah. Do I have dresses? Yeah.
Like, seriously? Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen those.
That's the thing. People don't know me. Like, and that's why I always tell people that, like, you don't know me, but I'm also this kind of person where I'm comfortable enough in my own skin to be who I am. I love trousers. They're comfortable. Like, you go in
it makes you look smart.
Yeah, it makes you look smart.
And then you're ready to take your shots.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can look beautiful in a suit, as well as look beautiful in a gown. There's nothing wrong with being a tomboy or anything of that nature, but I won't say that that's what I am. Like, people just try to box you and say this is who you are, but I'm just me. Everything I do is
real.
Yeah,
it's Tolani.
It's Tolani. Like, but do I put on a dress when I have to? No. Am I happy about it? No. But
you just have to.
You just have to. Like, would I wear a wedding gown? Oh, hell yeah. I've dreamt about my wedding gown for a long time.
Wow.
But that's for my wedding. But for like everyday life, man, you have to be comfortable because you are doing things. 9 times out of 10, you are doing things that you might not have control over. So one thing you have control over is your look. So do something that you are happy with and comfortable with, not what society and everyone has said this is how you should be. So yeah, that's my own 2 cents about that.
Well, I watched one of your interviews where you said that you had to sum up a lot of courage to tell your dad that you want to go into photography. Now tell me, how did you actually discover your love for photography?
Well, at the time I was going through some very difficult time in my life, and I needed something to kind of like get away from that. And I used to read medical journals a lot, like, especially because I wanted to be a medical doctor. So to make sure that I would be the best medical doctor I could ever be. So in doing that, I used to make sure that I gave my all in that sense. And then at the point, I just realized that my attention started shifting. And I started focusing more on photography. And it was from one, like, wedding photograph. And it was Judy Alakija that took it. And I just fell in love with the wedding. I loved the way it was captured. And, according to my parents, I've always had a thing for a camera. Every time anyone asked me what they should buy for me was a camera. In fact, when I got to uni, one of the first things we bought was like a camera, this small Panasonic camera, but I would never use it. I just used to have it. So, like, that was it. That was how I discovered photography. And then one thing, my love for it started to just like come out.
And so it's comfortable for you to actually dump medical degree for photography.
Oh no, it wasn't though. I didn't do that until I used to. So in the US, right, when you do medicine, you have to do your undergrad first.
Okay.
And you graduate from your undergrad. Then med school is another school. So you can do your undergrad in, like, let's say University of Ibadan, and then maybe let's say University of Ibadan does not have a med school. You don't have to go to like University of Ife. But before applying to enter the medical school for University of Ife, you have to do a thing called the MCAT.
Okay.
So it's like a test for medical school, and you have to get like a score. So it's just like GED or GRE or things that you do for your mind. There's one for medicine, which is MCAT.
Okay.
And so with the MCAT, you have to take it, you have to study, you have to get a score, and then apply for med school, right? So applying for med school starts like your junior year, which is like your third year in uni, or your second year in uni. So you have to start preparing for med school as early as your second year in university and your undergrad. And you have to take certain courses and things of that nature. So
did you finish?
Yeah, I was already doing all this. So I got into a program that had an MPH program. So it was a master's in public health and a medical school program that took 6 years, right? You would do your MPH for a year or 2 years, depending on how you finish. And then you start your medical school, but it will be a combined course. So I started the first year of that. But after I graduated, I was doing the 9-to-5 work. I was working in Apple.
Okay.
So I used to do customer, employee, and hardware training. So I used to pretty much get like the customers, what they were feeling and how they were feeling, how employees were feeling, and especially about products, and educate them about it. And I used to go everywhere to do that at the time. Was a beauty. I loved the job because I love technology. So while getting ready to apply, so I had a job. You had to get experience. You had to do all these things to make sure that and then the medical school application also changed.
Okay.
They started wanting more doctors that had empathy. So before, medical school used to be about your grades and what you got your MCAT score.
Okay.
At that period of time, they now started looking for life and personal skills, because they didn't want doctors. People were complaining about doctors that would tell you, oh, you have cancer or you have AIDS, and they're not empathetic, and they just walk away and expect you to deal with this thing. And so they wanted doctors now who were approachable, who people could come to and talk to, who understood that I just delivered the worst shocking news of your life. But the way I deliver it is also very important, because I have to make sure that when I deliver it, your response has to be, So med school requirements got higher, right? So I was really into that process, because medicine at that point was what I wanted to achieve. Like, I wanted to be an oncologist, someone who discovered how to, and then also be part of people how to cure cancer. And there were so many things I saw that were missing in that field that I really wanted to fill that gap for. So I was really, really committed to doing that. So even for dumping that passion and that dream for photography wasn't really an easy thing. It's very easy to say, but all my life, in fact, there was a time where teachers told my dad that they don't think I can be a doctor, that I wasn't serious enough. Like, there was a part of my life where I wasn't really serious with schoolwork, and they were like, man, they don't know if I'll be able to really be this medical doctor that I want to be. But I didn't dump that for that, right? I didn't dump because my uni got better. I did better in uni, so I didn't dump med school for grades or anything. I dumped it because there was something that came that surpassed the love. And that's why I keep saying my love, like my passion. I didn't dump it because it was an easy way out. And photography is also not an easy way out. So yeah, like.
So how did you actually convince your parents?
Well, so
how did you make them, agree with your decision?
Well, I had a mentor, still do, who is this famous basketball player, and I love him. His name is Kobe Bryant, and I love the way he plays. Not necessarily the way he plays on the court, but the things he does to be able to perform at such a high level on the court. So one of the things that fascinated me about Kobe Bryant was how he was the hardest working NBA player. Like, Kobe really works hard. Like, everything you see on the court, it doesn't just come to him. He actually works hard. And I used to be fascinated with his process. So I reached out to him and I was like, man, Kobe, when you knew that basketball was what you wanted to do, how did you convince your parents you wanted to be a basketball player? And obviously his dad too was a famous NBA player, so there was no question. But your parents are still going to give you huge flack. And one of the things Kobe has done is whatever he does, even if he doesn't like it, he will do it extremely well so that it can allow him to do what he actually wants to do. He takes the pain because he knows that at the end of the day, he'll get what he wants to get. So I talked to him and I was like, and he said that, everything they told him went in one ear and came out the other. That he didn't let anyone that said anything that wasn't encouraging or supportive towards his dream, he blocked it out. Because within himself, he already knew that he was going to be one of the greatest basketball players ever, and he was going to do everything he possibly could do to be that. So when he told me that, like, this is Kobe. If Kobe feels this way and can do this, then that means I can too. So I picked up the phone, spoke to my dad, obviously. Never, this is not going to happen. Our plan is for you to be a medical doctor. We fought, like, serious, so we didn't talk for a long time. Even this job with the governor, my dad was against it, like, big time. Like, you can't work in that environment. You're too young, you're too this, you're too... But you see, one of the things about your passion is that when you see somebody doing something passionate, it can't be hidden. It can't be blinded. It can't be... You will see it. So my dad was lucky enough to see me work. And when you see somebody doing something that they love, you just know. You will know.
And you allow them be.
So my mom, by the way, was extremely supportive. My mom has never really forced us to be certain things. My dad has dreams for what we can do for this, but my mom, has been whatever you guys as long as you do it well. So pretty much that's how I was able to convince him. That was my cheat code to convincing him. He saw me do it and he was wild. So I think, let's just say the rest was history. That was how we finished our fight. And now every year I get a call from my dad, like, okay, what's next? Like when my dad saw T.Y. Bello advertising for Canon, my dad was like, when are you going to be there?
Wow.
My dad, one of my uncles who was my mentor for medicine, calls me every year, says I watch CNN every day because I know one day I'm going to see you here.
Oh yeah.
So now these guys they weren't against me because they didn't love me. They wanted the best for me, but now that they've seen that this is what I want to do, they are very, very supportive and they believe in me 150%, and they go all out for me. So I appreciate that.
In case you're just tuning in, you're listening to Leading Women right here on Splash 105.5 FM. And my guest is Tolani Alli. Tolani, you were the first female photographer to serve a governor here in Oyo State. How does that bit of history make you feel? And what was the experience like? Just hold on a bit, we'll take a break and we'll be back on the show.
The role of governance in aiding business growth and sustainability will be a subject of attention on Insights with Oluwaseun Omoakinola this coming Sunday. Our guest, the versatile Makonjola Ojewumi, is the Chief Development Analyst at Night Service International Limited, an author and the principal partner, Makonjola Ojewumi and Company.
Look into Sheyi Makinde now.
Right.
And speak to him about this issue.
Okay. Well, our amiable governor, welcome to the hot seat. They voted you in and they want you. And so they're looking up to you in...
Concerned about issues pertaining to running a business in Ibadan, policies for economic growth in the states, or how to build your house on your current income. Then, tune in to Insights by 4 p.m. this Sunday with Oluwaseun Omoakinola on Splash FM, the Integrity Station.
Ibadan Baptist Conference is here. Hallelujah. Gbogbo ọmọ Ọlọ́run ó yá ní ìpàgọ́ Baptist. Ẹ̀keje irú ẹ̀. The principle of the kingdom àwọn àgbékalẹ̀ ìjọba ọ̀run Matthew 18:21-35 láti ọjọ́ Saturday 24th August ní ìpàgọ́ tí máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ the Wednesday 28th èrè kíni fún ènìyàn tó jèrè gbogbo ayé tó sọ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀nu wọ́n gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà tí ń pe aṣákùpadà wá sí ìrònú pìwàdà. Come with great expectation and our God who is greater than your problem will not disappoint you. Wàá gba ìgbàlà ìwòsàn ìdáǹdè àlùyọ oníwàásù ni Reverend S. Adé Ayọ̀lá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ Saturday 24th August the Wednesday 28th àwọn olùgbàlejò àjùmọ̀ṣe Ìbàdàn Central àjùmọ̀ṣe Orísun Ayọ̀ àjùmọ̀ṣe ọ̀nà iye àwọn olùgbàlejò àgbà ni Reverend Jonathan Adémọ́lá Babalọ́lá alága àjọ ìpínlẹ̀ Reverend Dr. S.A. Adékúnlé ààrẹ àjọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ìbàdàn Abraham Baptist Center lọ́sọ̀kọ̀ Ìbàdàn láti máa pàdé ẹ wákàjọ ní ìbápàdé Jésù ó tan ìmọ́lẹ̀ sójú ọ̀nà wa láti gbàjọba ní ìkẹyìn torí pé Jésù lolúwa.
Imagine you're in South Africa and spotting the famous big five animals. Imagine you're relaxing at the Valley of Waves in Sun City. Imagine you're gorilla trekking in Rwanda. Well, you can stop imagining and make it a reality with You Fit Fly. You Fit Fly presents to you Destination Kigali and South Africa from the 2nd of October to the 9th of October 2019. With 2 nights in Kigali, 3 nights in Sun City, 2 nights in Johannesburg, a return flight ticket, airport transfers, tours, DJ and artist performances, and a surprise guest with many more amazing offers. For more inquiries, visit our office at Block 8, Plot 15, 7 Up Road, Oluyole Main Estate, Ibadan, Oyo State. Or you can call us on 0815-709-2513.
The Thor, Lagelu FM Inter-Secondary School Relay Race 2019, coming soon. For registration, visit www.lagelufmrelayrace.com or pick up a form at Lagelu FM office, White House, Felele, Ibadan. For more inquiries, call 0805-699-8701 or 0705-439-3304. The Lagelu FM Inter-Secondary School Relay Race is for student athletes under 15. Please come with a verifiable document for each athlete. The Thor, Lagelu FM Inter-Secondary School Relay Race 2019, coming soon.
Splash 105.5 FM.
It's still leading women right here on Splash 105.5 FM. Tolani, hope you're having a nice time with me.
Very good time, Toyin.
Now,
happy to be here.
So, how does that bit of history make you feel, Tolani?
I think
the first female photographer to actually work with a 7 governor.
And you know, when you're doing something, you don't really know any history behind it. You don't even realize you are doing something. Like, I don't know if that you are just out to do what you've set your mind to do. And that's why they always say that the people who really go out to be the greatest were never doing it to be the greatest. They were just doing it to be the best to be the best version of themselves. Like, I think it occurred to me when I realized that there weren't as many females on the scene, right? Like, when we'll go for things and everybody, I think the first occurrence was when I was like, you know, you're working with like a 50-male crew and you're like, you're the only woman. And
did you ever think like that?
Not really. I can see, the thing about being a photographer is you have to have like good interpersonal skills. You have to have social skills. Like, you should be able to, because you're telling people's story. So you have to figure out how to be in that room. Like, people really don't understand the things the work it takes to be in this position or in this situation. You have to be very communicative. You have to be very approachable. You have to understand things. You have to do a lot of research. You have to read a lot. You have to understand certain things that you've never really been exposed to in your life. So you already have that. Then you have the whole female crowd on it. And I don't like it. Like I was telling you earlier, I don't like it when people position us for something that this is as a woman, these are the things that we can be, or we shouldn't chase jobs because we won't be able to have time at home to take care of the kids. I don't like it when people put people in that kind of box, because at that point in time, they've told you that all your life, that's all you can be. And that's why Mrs. Obama said we're not there yet. We are becoming our best versions of ourselves. Yeah. And I think when I realized it was when I started to see more people who look like me doing the same thing, right? So when I saw my colleague in Ogun, who was documenting the governor, she was a woman.
Wow.
And the governor chose her because he had seen someone like me. And then my colleague in Ondo was also documenting, or my colleague with Mrs. Oshibanjo,
okay,
or my colleague with the wife of the president, and saw all these ladies. Normally it's a man that would be put to do that kind of job.
Yeah.
But now they were okay with having a woman both in a male leadership environment and a female leadership environment.
Should I say that you actually set the pace?
I don't even think about it that way. But yeah, you can say that. But I think it's more about the fact that I had to make sure I didn't mess up. Because if I did, people don't realize that when you're in a position, there's a burden too. Because everybody's looking at your every move. And they're looking at the things that you do. And they're looking at your work. And they're looking at it that, can you hang? Can you do the tedious job? Can they call you and say, pack a box, we are traveling, and you'll be ready? Can they call you and you'll be there every day? You won't be tired. You won't be burnt out. The mists we have around being a woman, that we're vulnerable. Can we hang? Can they shout at us and we will not cry? Can they, So I think those were the things I didn't know that I was doing or making. And so these are the things people saw to make sure that, okay, if this person can have a woman. Because also remember, I went from people thinking that, was I the governor's girlfriend? Yeah, like people accuse, like, are you sure she's not his girlfriend, but you just gave her a camera to... People have these things where they like to minimize women. When they see them in positions, they like to minimize and say, she slept her way to the top. Or she did this. They never give you credit for actually being good at what you do and being in that position because you are good at what you do. They always like to add another excuse or attachment to the fact of why she slept her way to the top. No, she's his daughter's friends. But if he's a guy, they won't think twice. They just say, he's very good. And these are the things we have to deal with. But we also have to make sure that we support one another. We mentor one another. We fight for one another. If someone is insulting a woman next to you, defend that woman. Even if you know the woman is wrong, or make sure, because we are women, we have to fight for one another, not cheat each other. Because the more we minimize each other, the more we're giving an opportunity to outside people to minimize us too. So honestly, I didn't think about it from a history point. I didn't think about it from an historic perspective. I just thought that this was what I wanted to do, and I went for it, and it just happened to be the.
And you gave your best, right?
Yeah, I gave my best.
How was it like? Your experience? How were you able to meet up with the governor's busy schedule? Traveling, all the stress. How were you? Was it that you had something that kept you going?
Someone came to me one day, I think one of the drivers, and he said, Auntie, low.
Wow.
I said, I don't shake kono, I don't G, I don't the man today, man shake away, So like I need whatever you are using to have this energy. And I looked at him, I said, I don't eat anything. Like the only thing I do is I make sure I take my vitamins, I make sure I take care of myself, I make sure I eat a lot of fruits, drink a lot of water. But everything was passion. I always tell people, when you're very passionate about what you do, it's true, you never work a day in your life because you're doing it. But now my mom and dad are excellence driven people. So growing up, they've instilled that aura of excellence that you have to give your best to everything that you do. My dad and my mom are extremely hardworking people, and that was one of the things they've ever preached: hard work and humility. My dad tells me every time, humility costs you nothing but can get you everything you want in the world. And my dad and my mom are very, very hardworking people. So doing that, they've been doing that. That's one of the things my brothers and sister and I carry, where we ensure that we're hardworking, and whatever we do, people know that when they call us, we'll always be ready to answer. So traveling and everything, for me it was fun, man. I got to see places I'd never been to before in Nigeria. I got to come back home to where my grandparents and my parents were raised, born and raised, where my grandparents and my parents lived all their lives.
Wow.
Growing up, and so it's so funny when we went to events at Lagelu, because that's the school my dad and my uncle went to, and it was just another way to connect with history, and I was just fascinated by it, and I loved the fact that I was serving, serving the people of Oyo State, serving the governor. That was truly amazing for me, and yeah, it didn't feel like work. I swear, like it. Ask anybody that knows me. The day we were going out or we were going to do something, I used to be so excited. I'll be the first person to get to work.
Wow.
Like they know. Like one time the governor said, Tolani Alli kirun ko bayi. O like iseju.
Wow.
So
they were able to impress him.
Yeah, like he always used to say it. He knows, like when we have something, he'll be like, it's to sing. I love become or I love shame con,
Wow.
So he knew, like, my energy was just different. Campaign, oh my god, I live for it. Like, just doing things, I live for it. Like, just give me a story, I'll tell it,
Wow. So do you have anything new cooking?
Man, a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of stories recently, like stories.
Picture stories?
Yeah, picture stories. Like,
and I actually watched one about yourself.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Thank you.
That was really brilliant. I think I listened to it. I watched it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I follow you on Instagram.
Thank you.
Oh, I think you should do more of it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I really want to do things on that a lot of people don't know about. I believe that the African narrative is being killed and being told in a way that is not who we are. Like a lot of people say, Beyonce put Wizkid and Burna Boy and Techno and Tiwa on her album. But what people don't realize is that the gold is in Africa. It's not anywhere else but Africa. We have the largest market in the world. Afrobeats gets anybody on their feet to dance.
Yeah, like I guess there's an American artist, I don't know, and I've forgotten the name right now, that actually featured Aruna Ishola's song.
Yeah.
She just tried it.
Exactly. And Chris Brown and Davido, like, we're really blowing minds, and we don't even understand that the American market is getting crushed. It's starting to have so many people. So Beyonce, being the genius and innovator that she is,
decided to
came here to feature because what people don't understand is she was a genius, man. She's gonna get Burna Boy fans, she's gonna get Wizkid fans, she's gonna get Tiwa Savage's fans, everybody to listen to the Lion King, which is her album. So the gold is in Africa, and that's what I really want to do, is to showcase Africa in a way that people have never seen before, the way it should really be told. And our story, I think one of the things that allowed me to thrive working for the governor was I was very truthful about it. I let people know what happens when you are a governor. Before now, did you know that there were courtesy visits? Did you know who came to the office? Did you know there was ESCO? Did you know there was NEC meeting?
There was a particular picture you took and you posted on Instagram where the governor was actually relaxing with his family. That was the other side of the governor, showing us the other side of the governor. Yeah.
And do you know the craziest part of that moment? I think I know the picture you're talking about. Is it the one where he was wearing white, like jalabia?
Yes.
That was when he had just got the call that he didn't win the Senate election.
Oh my.
So that was a side that was their reaction. That was a live shot. That was not you see the historic part about that. You saw the good times. You saw the times where he was happy with his family, and then you saw a time where they got a news that they weren't happy about.
They were together.
And they were together. That's to show, and he's a real family man. Like, when he's with his kids, he's a different kind of person. Like, so, but you got to see every side to that, which made you understand that he was also human, right? So and that's the power of photography, right? It's an ability to tell stories that you would never deem possible, you never seem fit, and it gives you a door or an access to see things that you don't even know, and then it allows you to even become more involved in your society, in your country, and it's just another way to give back. So I think yeah, man, it's been awesome.
Where do you actually draw your inspiration from?
Ah, man, I drew my inspiration from a lot of things. Kobe is one when it comes to hard work, being the best version of myself. Kobe really taught me the power of hard work, the power of your process, the power of, I read a lot, I study a lot for these things. I go to the greatest and the best people to have ever done this thing, to learn from them, to sit at their feet and understand how they do what they do. And Kobe Bryant taught me that. I learned from him what hard work really looks like. And I just draw inspiration for showcasing our culture. Like, people have never seen the face of governance in Africa. They don't know what it looks like. They don't know how we go about things. And being able to showcase that side has really been something I can be proud of. But then again, at the same time, I draw inspiration from the likes of, like, Wole Soyinka, who is a Nobel laureate and has brought a different perspective to Nigeria. I draw inspiration from Chimamanda Adichie. I draw inspiration from my brother Ayo Emotion, who constantly blazes the trail. I draw inspirations from people like Jay-Z, who came from, selling crack to now being a billionaire. I draw inspiration from, like, the farmer. I don't know if you guys know him, like Shola Ladoja. He does Simply Green.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and just going to school for economics and then, switching up into agriculture. I draw inspiration from people like Diola Segoe. I draw inspiration from George Oshodi, T.Y. Bello. I draw inspiration from a vast of people who are changing the game, who are blazing the trail, and no matter things that have been put in front of them, they still thrive. They still keep going, keep pushing, and keep innovating. They are doing things that people, from Steve Jobs, like, who said that we can make the money go from the consumer directly back to the artist and there won't be a middleman? Who said, forget CDs, let's bring music to people's phones where people can listen to, and that was where the iPod was created. So these are the people that inspire me to continue to go. I don't even know where I'm going. I just know that I'm going.
You're becoming.
I'm becoming, and I like Michelle Obama, Barack Obama. Oh my God, I look up to those people. Serena Williams. She's my hero.
She's resilient.
She's everything you can think of that is great in the world. Serena represents. So do the Obamas, man. I love them. Like, anything Obama, man, I'm a fan. You can't shade them near me. Like, I love them. And Mrs. Obama, reading her book and seeing what she went through, in the White House as a mother, as a woman, and now she's been the one that they've done the poll on, that's the only person they feel that can beat Trump. You know what that means for a woman? So yeah, like, I think if we sit down here and talk about that, I can talk all day, but yeah.
Yeah, so I must tell you that I'm having a wonderful time with you, and I'm learning one or two things from you. You look good and really smell nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, does Tolani have a boyfriend?
No. I'm single and searching.
Oh, like, seriously?
Yeah. Hey, man. I think my dad tells me I'm too work focused, that I can bring someone home in like 2 years. And I told him that I'm doing my own thing. I should not put me on a clock. But anything that has always had the potential of happening, it's either, they don't say it, but sometimes you can tell, like, they're threatened or whatever. So I don't bite. And then I think sometimes too, a lot of people look at you and they see what you've achieved. And to be honest, I just laugh because they don't realize that you're just scratching the surface, that there's still a lot more you can go. But I believe that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. So having a partner would only make me better, make my own partner better too. And we'll make each other like a dynasty. Those are the dreams I have for myself and the future Mr. whoever it might be.
Yes, I know that you might actually come across somebody who maybe has been watching you and also been doing great for himself.
You never know, man.
Yes.
I am not like, I'm not close to it. Even though I might be a very hardworking person and I'm very focused on my work, I think maybe this, for me to get to where I am, let me say, like, at the point, maybe there were points in my life where I didn't want distractions. But, yeah, man, it's a good thing. Like, I'm open to it, but I'm single right now.
What advice would you give to women out there?
Man, let's be resilient, man. Let's stop allowing people to put us in a box. The world is too much. Everybody expects a man to do something, and then they think less of a woman. I really think we're the game changers. I think we have so much to prove, but we're not really proving that to people. I think it's more about what we want to do. And you can't test the power of a woman. Like the power of, look at our homes, you know. When the child does well, they praise the father. When the child does bad, they praise the mother. They insult the mother. But we're strong. Like, look at the things we have to take. Look at the things we have to manage. We have to take care of our husband. We have to take care of our home. We have to take care of the kids. We have to be the ones that are required to be there, to be present. The ones that are told to take sacrifices. And I feel like while we can still do that, there's so much more we can do. We need more of us in the world leading. And I'm very, very intentional saying that we need women leaders, like in every category, not just in the business environment, but in the architectural environment, like Jumoke Adeno, like, you know, in the engineering sector. Like, we need, because we truly make a difference. We are resilient, we are strengthened, we are powerful. Our voices are powerful, our ideas are powerful. We see the world in a way where people don't see it, and we care. You know, never take care for granted or empathy. You know, we can also be cold-blooded too. You know, and people should stop looking at the other things that they think we have as women and say, oh, these are the things that hold us back. Oh, we still fight through it. In fact, they should respect us more for the fact that we are still doing what we do while having certain
our own
things
personal challenges.
Exactly. So yeah, man, women, we should just be resilient, and we should stop biting each other. Like, stop chewing each other's head off. We should support one another. We should be our biggest cheerleader. See a woman doing something, support her, encourage her, strive, like, push her, congratulate her, clap for her. Don't badmouth her. Don't bring her down. You know, I think once we are for each other more, I think nobody can stop us, because when we're together, we're more powerful.
Thank you so much, Tolani, for being
having me
on being on Leading Women this wonderful Saturday.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's it on today's edition of the program Leading Women, right here in Splash 105.5 FM. I had fun. I've learned one or two things from Tolani. I hope you also had learned one or two things from my conversation with her. A big thank you to my production crew, my audio engineer, Tolu Olasukomi, and not forgetting my production assistant, Zainab Sani. Till I come your way next week, Saturday, God's willing, with another beautiful woman. I remain yours sincerely, Toyin Adepoju. For comment, observation, you can send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0805 733 5451. 0805 733 5451. Have yourself a lovely Saturday.